Hello and welcome to Immigration USA with Kathia. Today we're going to talk about a very good news. And a federal judge in California, has decided to stop the cancellation of TPS for Venezuela. But what does that mean? Well, it means that 350,000 people who have been living here under the protection of deportation of TPS will be able to continue living in the United States until the government decides whether the cancellation of TPS is valid or not. Let me explain. Okay, so TPS is temporary protected status, and TPS is a benefit that the government gives to people who are in the United States, who are foreigners from a specific country, who at that time the TPS is issued cannot go back to their countries because of the situation of their countries. And the situation could be many things. Could be there was a natural disaster and the country is suffering. Let's say a hurricane comes and destroys the whole country. So the people who are here that now get the protection of TPS so they can remain in the United States, work, and help their people in their country so they don't have to go back. It could be that there is civil unrest, that there is a war in their countries, and so the government doesn't want them to go back to war. Or it could be a chaotic political situation, a violent situation that does not allow for these people to go back. So in 2021, the government designated Venezuela for TPS, and they redesignated Venezuela for TPS in 2023. Now, the Trump administration came in, and the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, decided to cancel TPS for Venezuela. Now, in order to cancel TPS, you have to go through a process. The same way when the government announces that they're going to do TPS for any country, they have to go through a process. So in this case, the process to announce TPS for Venezuela was right. But when the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security decided to cancel it, I don't think the process was done correctly. And that is why civil organizations file a lawsuit against the cancellation of TPS. And when they filed the lawsuit, the civil organization said, okay, Judge, we think the way TPS for Venezuela was canceled, it's unconstitutional. We don't think it's right because the secretary claimed that most Venezuelans are criminals, members of the Tren de Aragua, and that's not true. In order to have TPS, you have to prove that you don't have a criminal record. And then the way she referred to Venezuela shows some type of racism, and so we don't think the way it was canceled was correct. So they filed a lawsuit. Lawsuits in the United States take a long time, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. It depends on how complicated the lawsuit is. But in the meantime, while the lawsuit takes its course, the civil organizations ask the judge for an injunction. What is an injunction? An injunction is an order from the judge that is going to suspend whatever it is that the government wants to do. So the judge received this motion and decided to put a hold on the cancellation of TPS, who was supposed to start into effect in a couple of weeks, so that people can remain on TPS status until the judge reviews the whole case and decides whether the way in which TPS was canceled was correct or not. This is very good news for 350,000 people, Venezuelans with clean records, who are living and working in the United States. One of the things that people really need to understand is that TPS is not something that you can have if you have a criminal record. One of the requirements for having TPS is that you have to show that you don't have any felonies. if you have a felony, you don't qualify for TPS. So these 350,000 people are not members of Tren de Aragua, are not felons, and they already proved it to the government. So what is going to happen now? If you authorization based on TPS, most likely your employment authorization is going to be extended automatically. The TPS has not revived in the sense that you cannot reapply for it, but the employment authorization is going to be automatically extended. We don't know for how long. We have to wait for the notification from the government. So those are the news today. If you have any questions, I can take your questions right now. So let me know. Otherwise, I'm happy to report that that this news is happening right now. I will post in my social media, Immigration USA with Kathia, GWP Immigration Law, about everything that happens with this lawsuit. In the meantime, it is great news for any and everybody who has TPS for Venezuela, because they can remain in the United States for as long as the lawsuit takes. The government, of course, is going to appeal. So these may go up to other courts, to the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court. We don't know. But we will go through the process and I will keep you posted. So Vanessa says, my husband has expedited removal order. Can I petition for him? I'm a U.S. citizen. He's illegally in the United States. Well, Vanessa, you can petition for your husband, but he cannot get a green card because he's in violation of an order of deportation. And so it'll be very risky for you to apply for him because, like I said, he's in violation of an order of deportation. And when that happens, you don't qualify for anything that it's not VAWA or U visa. Those are the only two things that you can apply for when you are inside the United States in violation of an order of deportation. Very good. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I'm glad that you got to listen to this good news, and I will be posting more news. Remember, GWP Immigration Law or Immigration USA with Kathia. Thank you.